Greetings and thank you for tuning in to My Journey with Paula G. We'd like to thank our underwriters, the Good Actor Studio of Marietta, Georgia, my coffee shop at East Lake, Pastors Time International Bible College, Augusta, Georgia, with Dr. Paul and Marcia Kelly, Creekside Dental Incorporated of Douglasville, Georgia, Lusu Designs with Brandon Sampson of Maryland, Survival Radio Network and Clicks Photography by Clark Garrison, and Positive Power XXI Christian Media and Radio Network with Journey Was Live worldwide. We hope you enjoyed this presentation and tune in again. Embrace the journey with Paula G.
Thank you to LMB Tax Service, underwriters for My Journey with Paula G. LMB Tax Service is the premier company. LMB Tax Service offers information on the tax law changes, the most overlooked deductions, and what to bring to tax preparation. Thinking about setting up a business? LMB Tax Service provides information on the process. Visit LMB Tax Service at lbtaxservice.com for more information and for your tax service needs.
This is a DAB.
La la la, la la la, la la la, la la la. This vibe here got me out of control. Watch me dance just a little bit. Watch me dance just a little bit. Watch me dance just a little bit. La la la, la la la, la la la.
I know I messed up, but I tried. I really need you to get by. Had to swallow my pride. Now your boy's on fire. Back then didn't want me. Now I'm hot all on me. Spirit of God all on me. Ain't got time to be phony. Lift them up just a little bit. MG with another hit. John B all over it. Word of God is my origin.
La la la, la la la, la la la. This vibe here got me out of control. Watch me dance just a little bit. Watch me dance just a little bit. Watch me dance just a little bit. La la la, la la la, la la la. Who said the church can't swag it out? Watch your boy spit just a little bit. Preacher come down from the pulpit. This one got God all over it. This song got me pure trembling. Yes, I'm filled with love and adrenaline. Even the angels are shivering. My flow cold, but Christ moving in. Tic-tac-toe, I'm allowing him. X with I-O, and I'm back again. I just reload, let the record spin. I just reload, let the record spin. La, la, la. La, la, la. La, la, la. This vibe here got me out of control. Watch me dance just a little bit. Watch me dance just a little bit. Watch me dance just a little bit. La, la, la. La, la, la. La, la, la. This vibe here got me out of control. Watch me dance just a little bit. Watch me dance just a little bit. Watch me dance just a little bit. La la la, la la la, la la la.
Welcome to My Journey with Paula G, where we juggle this journey called life while walking in the gifts and talents that God has given us. Thank you all so much for joining us, and thank you to our underwriters and our supporters for making not only this episode, but all of the episodes of My Journey with Paula G possible. Thank you so much, and thank you, each and every one of you, for tuning in. Well, today I always open the show with a jewel from one of the gems on this journey. And our jewel comes from Mr. Stephen Marshall today. His favorite scripture is Psalm 70. Make haste, O God, to deliver me. Make haste to help me, O Lord. Let them be ashamed and confounded that seek after my soul. Let them be turned backward and put to confusion that desire my hurt. And that is a word of encouragement if you're going through something, if you're going through a difficult time, that God is by your side and He will see you through and He will protect you as well. Well, today I'm excited to have this young lady with me. And you all know I'm a fitness buff. So my sister in fitness here is joining me today. She's a certified group fitness instructor. She's a life coach. She's an entrepreneur. She is Ms. Letitia
Yes.
Baker.
Yes.
And we welcome you to My Journey with Paula G.
Thank you. I'm excited to be here.
And we are excited to have you. I just love the whole look, the hair, the glasses.
Yes.
I like that kind of classic style a little
Yes,
bit
ma'am.
too.
I
Got a
love
lot of character.
it.
Yeah, they have a lot of character.
Yeah.
You know, the 60s was
It-
a kind of a time period, the cat eye and the clothing, the fashions.
Yes.
Yeah, it was
It's very expressive.
I like that. It's expressive.
Yes.
So speaking of being expressive, you have been on a journey where you have been able to express yourself in three different aspects:
Yes.
the fitness instructor, life coach, and entrepreneur. So let's start with the fitness. How did all of that come about?
After I had my second child, I just was like, I need to do something. Because, after you have children,
Yes.
you feel the weight, not just from the children, but
physical-
the weight, the physical weight, and, mental, emotional, all of that in
Yeah.
one. And I was like, I just need to feel good.
Yeah.
So, I started as a runner first. And then I was like, I need to do something to push me over that.
The edge. Yeah.
Yes. So that's when I decided to do fitness. I love lifting weights. I love being in the gym. And I tell people, everybody always say, well, I'm going to church and praise and worship. My worship is at the gym.
At the gym.
Yes.
Your praise and worship is lifting those
Yes.
weights.
Yes. Yeah.
Wow. So you had to, of course, become certified, which is
Yes.
no easy task
Yes.
because there's usually a written test.
Yes.
Exam, I should say, because
Yes.
there's a difference between a test and an exam.
Yes.
Written exam, there's probably a physical part of it where you have to demonstrate, that you know how to execute and the exercise and so forth. So there's a process to
Yes.
becoming a fitness instructor / life coach. So as you've been on the journey, I know you have probably trained people from all walks of life. What would you say is a common thread or a common challenge that maybe you have experienced in training individuals? Or is there a common challenge? Is it gender related, age related?
Sometimes it can be the gender. I don't think it's too much with the age thing because fitness is any age.
Yes.
I just think sometimes some can be intimidated. Men may be intimidated by a male instructor, and most
Yes.
men want to work out with me as a woman instructor. So it can be that kind of thing. And then you also have to be careful because some people aren't in it just for fitness. They're in it for
Yes.
something else.
Yes.
But
other
yeah,
aspects, other
that's-
distractions.
So it's a gender thing,
Yeah.
and it's a mental thing too. So we have to break those barriers down as far as those things go.
Well, and I'm glad you mentioned mental because a lot of times the getting started is the difficult part. So, and there may be some viewers who have never worked out or maybe had worked out at some point in time and then stopped for a while. What advice can you give them for either starting or re-energizing?
I say take it day by day. Don't set your goals so far in advance that you're already ready to quit
that's a
before
good
you
one.
even get started.
That's a good one.
Because people always say they want a 30-day goal. I'm like, start with today first
Right.
and get that one out the way.
One day at a time.
Yes, and then as you progress, cheer yourself on every go. Today I made it to the gym.
Right.
Or, the next day, I ate healthy today. Just cheer yourself on each step of the way.
And like you said, the short goals. Today I just made it to the gym. Regardless of what you did or didn't do,
Right.
maybe I want to go to the gym and I want to do 50 push-ups and 25 leg lifts, but you only do 10 leg lifts or 10 push-ups. Celebrate the
Right.
fact that
You did it.
got there,
Yes.
that you did it. Celebrate that and take those small steps.
Yes.
That's I'm glad you said that, because that's probably the biggest. We put too
Yes.
much on ourselves.
Yes. And we mentally defeat ourselves before we even get to start.
Yes. So tell us a little bit about Life Coach.
Life coaching is just trying to help those who's been on the same journey.
Okay.
And let them know that they're not alone, and the tools to do so.
Yeah. Tools are important.
Sometimes, you can get into the habit of, nobody knows what I'm going through. Nobody knows how I feel.
Ooh, come on, Tisha.
And different things like that. So as a
Yes.
life coach, I'm like, I've been there. I may not be able to tell you how you feel,
Right.
but I can give you tools to work through how you feel
Yeah.
and process it and come out on the other
And
side.
I think that's key, because sometimes, like people say, a lot of times, well, you haven't been through what I've been through. I like that. You can't tell them how to
Right.
feel. That's huge,
Yes.
because then you acknowledge that it is a challenge for them, and you acknowledge that, we don't exactly know what they're going through, but then giving them something to help them through
Right.
that.
Because we've been taught our emotions are sometimes our enemy.
Yes.
But if we hold them in, that's when they become our enemies.
Ooh.
Sometimes we have to let them, ride it out
Yeah.
and feel it, but just don't stay there.
Right.
So that's what a life coach, that's what my purpose as a life coach
Yes,
is.
yeah, because those feelings will ooze
Oh.
out sometimes, and it's not a pretty ooze. It's not
And
a
it'll
pretty.
come out on everybody that's around you.
Yes, that probably have nothing to do,
Yes.
with the source of it. You're also an entrepreneur.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Busy woman.
Yes, ma'am. Actually, I have a fitness line that just came out, I want to say 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
It's called Butterfly Behavior. I love butterflies because
Yes.
it represents growth.
Yes.
No matter what you're doing during life, it represents a sense of growth from one place to the next, whether it be fitness, just a journey overall. It's
Yes.
just a start and a beginning, a beginning, a middle, and an end. And I always tell people, when a caterpillar meets the butterfly in the middle, when they're doing a cocoon, sometimes you can't push people into the cocoon phase because they may not be able to come out as a butterfly
Come
on
on
the
now,
other
you're
side.
preaching now.
So I love butterfly behavior because when you think of fitness, you're starting at a starting point, and then you're trying to become that on the other
Yes,
side. So
yes.
that's why I started butterfly behavior.
Wow, I
Yes.
love it. I love it. I love it. Certified group fitness instructor,
Yes,
life coach,
yes,
entrepreneur.
yes,
So, you've taken these things that you enjoy, you've taken the gifts that God has given you, and you've poured them into these 3 areas.
yes.
And when we come back on the other side of the break, we want to continue this conversation and talk a little bit about an area that affects a lot of people,
Yes,
and that's domestic violence.
yes,
And you have very creatively, I think, come up with the way to tie in what you do with it being a certified group fitness instructor, a life coach, and an entrepreneur,
yes.
and how you've intertwined those areas in order to help those who are dealing with or have dealt with domestic violence.
Yes, ma'am.
So we're going to hear about that on the flip side. Share your social media with the audience before we
I
go to break.
am I am on Instagram. You can follow me on fitness_butterfly, BUDDAFLY. I am on Facebook. My name is Tisha Baker. Nothing too hard. And there you have it.
All right, okay. Well, we are here when we're talking with Tisha Baker, certified group fitness instructor, life coach, and entrepreneur. And she's going to share with us her vision on how she can help those who are dealing with domestic violence through the threefold journey that she's on. So stay tuned. We'll be back in a few moments. This is My Journey with Paula G.
This is a DAB.
Jesus loves me, this I know, for the Bible tells me so. Little ones who will belong, they are weak, but He is strong. Jesus loves me, this I know, for the Bible tells me so. Little ones who will belong, they are weak, but He is strong. I had to take it to the basics, yes, He loves me. Thank you for my mama, she is always there for me. If it wasn't for your love, I don't know where I would be. Lord, you died up on the cross and then you gave me the keys. That's a deer pants for the water longing after thee. You're the reason why I sing, I need you more than anything. Yeah.
Welcome back to My Journey with Paula G, where we juggle this journey called life while walking in the gifts and talents that God has given us. And we are here with Miss Tisha Baker, certified group fitness instructor. She's a life coach and she's an entrepreneur. And prior to the break, she was sharing with us each one of those aspects and how she utilizes her gifts, she utilizes her talents to help others, to encourage others, and to inspire others. And we were talking just a little bit before the break about how domestic violence, she's an advocate for working with those who have experienced or are experiencing domestic violence, and how the three areas that she's been gifted in, how she takes those areas to assist those individuals. So share with us how that unfolds.
I think overall, when you are going through something, you naturally tend to want to find a way, an outlet.
Yes.
And for me, I can say for me, working out was an outlet. And not only was it an outlet, it allowed me to start being mentally, physically, and emotionally, because I was able to let out what I had to let out while I was working out. So it,
A release.
yes,
It's a
so
release.
it allowed me to start transforming, basically. Not just my body, but my inside as well.
Mind, body, and spirit,
Yes,
just
yes.
transforming everything.
So I think they all go hand in hand. That's why me and my business partner, we came up with Break Every Chain Fitness. And Break Every Chain Fitness, it has the same vision and purpose as Butterfly Behavior. It's breaking the chains of depression, low self-esteem, all those different things that we as a community have, it's like a taboo to talk about. And we try to use those things to combat all of those issues that we have going on that are negative, so we can be better ourselves.
Yes.
And we use those tools to help those in domestic violence to, let out frustration. Some still deal with, I'm gonna be honest, low self-esteem. Some things I still deal with because of domestic violence, but it makes me feel better knowing I can feel better when I'm healthy. So incorporate all of that into there. So
Because also the mindset, and correct me if I'm
Yes.
wrong, mindset, it takes a while for one's mindset to change. And without getting too deep, there's I was reading this book, and it talks about your store conscious, how every experience, there's a stored consciousness from that experience. And depending on the experience, sometimes it takes a while to peel back those layers and get to the root of that experience, especially if it's a negative experience,
Right.
that you uproot that and then begin to heal from there. So, for some, it may be positive affirmations that
yes, yes,
help that, while you're working out. So it's a combination,
Right.
Things, and it's not an overnight journey. And any of those of you that are dealing with, just be encouraged and know that it's not an overnight
Right.
journey. It does take time, and be kind to yourself and allow yourself the time to heal and to go through the process.
and while even with personal training or a life coach, when you begin to trust the person that you're working with, you're
Yes.
more able to express how you're feeling, or that's why I liked life coach and personal training or fitness instructor together, because you already have them physically.
Yes.
So what's stopping you from speaking life into them while they're
While
working
they're
out?
working out.
You understand
Ooh,
what I'm saying?
yes.
So you're giving them that extra boost. Oh, you got it. You can do
Yes.
this. Tomorrow's a new day,
Yes.
but take it moment by moment. Just
by
take
moment.
what you learned here and apply it to tomorrow
Yes.
and keep going.
One step at a
Yes,
time.
yes. Because
Yeah.
domestic violence it does, like you said, it's a process. And just like working out, it's a
It's a
process.
process.
So it's a mental process. You have to get into the habit of thinking, I can do this, and be surrounded by people who will positively push you,
Influence you, yes.
because you can always hear the people, I told you shouldn't have did that. You was this and you was that, and that'll keep you in a space where you don't want to be. So I'm just, positivity,
Yeah,
just
you gotta
love.
surround you. You gotta
Yes.
change your environment,
Yes.
change that
Yes.
energy around you. Talk to us about your, and you touched on it a little bit, but being an entrepreneur and what challenges you face as being an entrepreneur.
Challenges I face, support. That's a big thing, and especially in the town that we are, it's like we get more support from people who don't even know us. We get more support from people who don't even live here.
Yes.
So the support in your local town is like the hardest thing to do. And I wanted to do an entrepreneurship because I have two girls, and I
Yes.
wanted to show them
them.
that even though I am the age that I am, I can still keep going.
Yes.
And I've been through what I've been through, but I didn't let it defeat me.
Yes.
So, I want to show them that life doesn't stop after a tragedy. You can keep going and turn it into something else.
And someone once told me that the people that know you the least are the ones that support you the most in these kind of ventures. And I think it's because of familiarity.
Right.
I've known you all my life, and we've been, we went to high school together and all those sorts of things. So then when you step outside of the realm of what I used to know you as,
Yes.
I may not necessarily relate or react to that, because I know the Tisha over here, not the life coach, or even though I've known you all my life, I think it's familiarity that is the reason, as opposed to people who their first impression of you is life coach.
Right.
Or fitness,
Right,
certified
right.
fitness instructor, entrepreneur.
Yes.
So yeah, that's always interesting.
Yes.
That's always interesting. But I applaud you for demonstrating to your girls entrepreneurship. Someone once said that we're raised and that we're conditioned in this society. We're raised to go to school, to go to college, to get a good job, to work for somebody else.
We're raised to survive, not raised to live.
Yes.
So
yes.
And now we had a discussion the other day. Are we surviving? Or are we living?
Living. Yes.
So I think entrepreneurship gives you a door to where you can live versus
Yes.
survive.
Yeah. And so your girls, you're demonstrating entrepreneurship.
Mm-hmm.
So that being their norm as they go forward, that's their norm. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm not an employee. Which nothing wrong, because we all are employees at one point in time. We got to pay bills. But, but yes, I think that it's important to begin to change the mindset of our young people, so they can be self-sufficient and live. And live. Tell us a little bit about your logo. I love the logo.
My logo is, actually we have two. Break Every Chain Fitness represents the breaking of the chains, the two hands breaking the chains of whatever you're going through that's holding you or keeping you bound. Butterfly Behavior represents, it's two muscles flexing. It represents strength, and it comes together and it forms a butterfly. So it forms strength. My business partner name is Andre Boyd, so we combined the two, and we're saying we're building butterflies to break the chains to create a butterfly behavior. So it's a good collaboration. They both have the same vision and mission, and that's wellness overall for people
in general. In general, it's great when you have that collaboration and both of you are on the same page and both of you are working, towards that. And just the wonderful things that can come out of that. And I applaud you for rising above your circumstances and taking the reins and taking the control of your life and getting your life back and walking into those things that God has placed, before you. So thank you so much for sharing. Share with us again your social media and how the audience can stay connected.
My social media is Instagram fitness_butterfly, BUDDAFLY. My business partner is Break Every Chain _fitness if you want to follow him. I'm Tisha Baker on Facebook, and he is Andre Tough on Facebook.
So ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for being with us. You've heard it right here. Certified Group Fitness Instructor, Life Coach, Entrepreneur, Tisha Baker. And remember, the greatest conversation, it all starts right here. The greatest conversation you will ever have is the one that takes place in between your ears. What are you speaking to yourself? Is God a part of that conversation? And are you listening to his still small voice? Until next time, embrace the journey.
Good.
All righty. Good job.
Greetings and thank you for tuning in to My Journey with Paula G. We'd like to thank our underwriters, the Good Actor Studio of Marietta, Georgia, my coffee shop at East Lake, Pastors Time International Bible College, Augusta, Georgia, with Dr. Paul and Marcia Kelly, Creekside Dental Incorporated of Douglasville, Georgia, Lusu Designs with Brandon Sampson of Maryland, Survival Radio Network and Clicks Photography by Clark Garrison, and Positive Power XXI Christian Media and Radio Network with Journey Was Live worldwide. We hope you enjoyed this presentation and tune in again. Embrace the journey with Paula G.